Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream for this wonderful Thursday evening in April. I hope everybody's doing okay. Don't mind my voice, some of my nasal congestion there. I ended up getting a cold, and I'm getting over it. I'm on the mend. It's just I have some leftovers, you know how it is, and so don't want to get into all of that, but I thought I'd still want to hang out with you guys, have some fun, and return to the book. Can I get an amen? Hey, Achilles Jones. Hey, John Thomas. And then Holocron Library Fox was here just a little while ago. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing okay. We're going to continue on. I don't know, honestly, I don't know how long my voice can handle talking, so we're going to stream how long I feel like I can go, because it dries out my throat. Can't really breathe through my nose, so it just, you guys know how it works. So, anyway, let's recap a little bit. So if you were here last week, you might remember this cute little guy. Gus! We came up with the name Quackolin for his species, right? He's a Quackolin, so he's part, despite what some people were saying, and I totally understand where they're coming from, he's not part mole, but he's part crocodile, part duck, and part pangolin. As you can see here, I haven't taken the time to finish shadowing him, detailing him, let me put it that way. I haven't, I don't have any tea at the moment. I'll probably get some later. I've got some water. I just really been wanting the water. I don't really crave tea at the moment, but thank you. But yeah, so I didn't take the time to finish him off. I'll do that eventually. But I had so many great comments and such great feedback about this character that people really liked him and thought he was cute and such an interesting and unique character. He's got his little tooth right there, right? And I'm just going to kind of read through some of the comments that, not comments, sorry. Brain's a little bit foggy too, apologize. But some of the details, that the description for the character that we did in fact make together. Gus, I haven't read this since last week, so let me try to get. Sometimes I just write so quickly and like the spelling's all over the place. But Gus is an apathetic creature too busy hoarding magical treasures to worry about the condition of the world. Quackolins have an inherent nature of seeking and hoarding magical treasures. They burrow underwater in the mud. They see better under the water. And normally an easily angered species, Gus is not a typical Quackolin. Gus has a unique single tooth. Quackolins, they fresh feast? What is this word? I don't understand what I wrote. Hang on, let's say. Fish eggs that glow. They eat. That's what it is. I think I missed a word here. They eat fish eggs that glow and grow on seaweed. They also eat turtles. We had since kind of revised this character that the singular tooth is not solely to Gus. That we decided that all Quackolins will have some sort of a tooth. We did decide that later on. He sleeps on land to fool the enemies because they're a very elusive creature. Gus, what? Oh, grass rings, kind of like in the way that gorillas create their little pod things, right? So we're saying that Quackolins do that too. Quackolins can sense magic. Is my favorite part. Quackolins can sense magic through their eyes. The feeling gets stronger the closer they get. Then through the power of their eyes, basically, of concentration, they can bring objects to themselves. Then they take it and they hide it in their burrows and store them away. So we have quite an interesting character, along with all the other ones that we've been creating. And so tonight's special feature is very different. Quite different from Gus. And I just kind of did a basic sketch of it. And somebody had mentioned some creatures in the chat last week. And so I've kind of taken it upon myself to merge some of those creatures. So we have tonight this creature, which at the moment, he doesn't look like much. He looks pretty basic. He just kind of looks like an standing or like an erect sheep or something like that, right? But it's going to be about the coloring and stuff like that. So I decided, I don't know if anybody can guess what creature this is so far besides just like a sheep-like creature. I went online to try to look for some random creatures, and I decided to pair together a goat and a panda bear. Yeah. So this is a Kung Fu, hey, stunning and brave Megatron, Kung Fu Panda goat. So this is a pretty bland stance, right? If I go back and look, like when I look at Tuerto, he's kind of hunched together, and he's got his feet curled, and then we've got Carl's ready to take on the world. And then even little Gus here, he's got his hands together. He's not just standing there. And so I'm a little bit bored with the stance that our little goat, or a Kung Fu Panda goat has. A pote, maybe? A ganda? Ooh. We'll work on that later. We need to come up with a species name for this creature. And I am thinking, when I was looking at this, I was thinking of adding some what's it called? Like some, shoot, not tines, but like spikes. Like, kind of like Stegosaurus. Is it a Stegosaurus? Like some kind of spike to the back of this. Just kind of mixing it up, because I think it's kind of boring looking. And he's just kind of standing there. And while that's kind of boring, I am thinking that this is a very low-key kind of creature. And I'm thinking of dropping his belly a little bit, honestly. So let's just kind of go ahead and get started. Feel free to give me some ideas as we create along the way. I know it takes a little while before we really get the ideas rolling, but I really loved the idea of like some kind of like pudgy creature. Gandalf? I don't know about Gandalf. Gandalf. Let's see. I love the idea of a big tummy though. Because, pandas are just so cute. Roly-poly-oly. Well, pandas are low-key. Thank you, John Thomas. Of course. Pandas are low-key when they're older, but I tell you what, they look like they're a handful when they're younger, though. Pandolf. Maybe that would be his name. Don't forget, we come up with the species name. We come up with his personal name. And then we have to come up with a background story. So he's got kind of a belly here, which I really dig. I'm sorry that this is in the way. I need to readjust my lights so that this is not in the way. I don't know where to put it so it benefits. I hope that works maybe a little bit better. Let's see. Hope that's okay. Hello, watching you create. Thank you. Did you see our Quackolin from last week? Isn't he cute? His name is Gus. Maybe give him panda ears and goat horns. Okay. I had thought about giving him panda ears. I like the way that this ear... Well, okay. So, okay, here's where we start creating, guys. I love it. So... You know how some creatures have multiple horns? And then some creatures have multiple eyes, right? What if he had multiple ears? Is that weird? Is that stupid? Let's try. But maybe the ears do something different. Remember, we're in a fantasy world. Where would you put a different set of ears? don't know. Let's just kind of draw. I do want to give him horns. Oh, what? Maybe we give him maybe tusks instead of normal horns. Let's see. What if he had 2 sets of ears? Is that stupid? Like, oh, he's kind of cute though. Hey, Cordola. That's not how you say her name, but that's how everybody calls her. It's my mom. Hi, Mom. Okay. What do we think? I know it's in the early stages. I know we need some time to think about this process here, but we've got 2 sets of ears. If a creature had 2 sets of ears, and don't worry, we'll add some fuzz and stuff like this too. If a creature had 2 sets of ears, what would the purpose be? Like, we know that the purpose of ears is for hearing, obviously. But if you're a magical creature, why in the world would you have 2 sets of ears? And I just want to make sure I don't make him look... Let me bring up my goat reference. I don't like his face because, again, this was just a rough drawing. He is looking very much like a bear with this stance, which is why I made sure I gave him hooves. So I'm wondering if we take the antlers and turn them into tusks, that would help. But let me see if I can kind of fix this face here. It's a little bit too bearish. I'm looking for some goat faces here. So they like go way up. He's a kung fu master. He needs the extra senses for combat. I love it. Is it? Okay, now he's looking like a badger. We don't need no stinking badgers. Okay, so again, you guys are learning along with me. I'm not the best at animal anatomy and things like that. And so, I mean, I'm practicing as long as I go. So when I look at these goats, they kind of like their noses just kind of come in and then they have, so kind of like a camel. And then this isn't much of a jowl, right? So it kind of like, hang on, I need to get this close up of this goat here. All right, sir, so I think less of a dip for sure. Dip seems to belong more towards the snugglier mammals. Okay, I think we're cooking with peanut oil now. But this might be too high up, but that's okay. We're figuring it. We're figuring it. And maybe he has like, goats have like these beards too. So maybe he has like some kind of a beard down here. Can you imagine a bear with a goat? Panda power, hello! Panda, yes. Goat, no. Well, again, fantasy creatures. We're going to see what happens when we mix this panda with this goat. Hey, Maria, it's unlocking lore. Ooh, Achilles Jones brings in maybe 2 ears, like a sonar in the dark or hearing... Ooh, okay. Hearing thoughts. I dig it. Okay. I dig it. So, I think the goat ears need to be for hearing thoughts. Yeah, I feel like he needs to be a little fatter in there. He's still looking so much like a bear. The ears just take it, and I can't quite figure out this. Maybe this needs to be rounded. Has a poo pounce. Okay, this looks a little bit better. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there, gang. So, what was I saying? I think the goat ears need to be the ones that hear thoughts because they're down. Oh, this looks better. Now he looks like a Huffalump. He has a Heffalump vibe. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think the ears, let me get back to this. The reason that the ears need to be the ones that hear thoughts is that they're down, right? So in a way, that's a way he can tune them out. Like he can put his ears down so he doesn't quite hear the thoughts as much and he can lift them up when he needs to hear them. Only threatening thoughts is what John Thomas says, not everyone's thoughts. Oh, hey, rookie critic! We're going to be working together on a project here soon. You guys should check out his channel. I love your sketchbook so much. Thank you, Maria. Girl, we need to get something together. Don't think I've forgotten you. Remember last year I said we need to collaborate on this idea? I have this book and I would love for you to narrate. I just haven't quite thought of the art piece I want to do. I kind of sort of have, but not fully. So, great idea. Great idea that he can only hear threatening thoughts. So, okay, with this creature, when you know something's happening, something's bad wrong, when this creature's ears go up, right? They're always down. So when they come up, something's wrong. Okay. And I kind of want this work, guys, this is perfect because I wanted this to be kind of a low-key, very mellow kind of creature. So this works really well. Again, we're still kind of sketching our way through, so don't mind some of these weird looking shapes. But I do, all right, let's give it a try with these tusks. Where would they come out? So let me look at the goat mouth again. So the mouth kind of comes out like lips here, and they come out short here. Other creatures wouldn't like it. Well, maybe that would be the burden he'd have to bear, though, right? Having to be able to hear everybody's thoughts. I know that would be quite the burden. Okay, so we've got a mouth. Let's see. We've got a mouth. It might be a little snoot kind of mouth. Like it's not too... Yeah, he needs a nose. He does need a nose. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Okay, so if he had some tusks, would they come out of his face or come out of his mouth? Like side tusk things. His beard's a little janky, I know, but we'll figure that out too. Don't worry. Let's see what they would look like if they came out of his face. Let's see. Let's make them like John. Let's go John Carter, like Martian tusks, the green Martians, Jeddak kind of tusks. Oh, here's where this perspective thing is gonna tear me up. I am not good. See, everything is always like to the side. I have an issue with angles, but we figured it out with Gus a little bit. Let's see if we can figure this out with this creature here, whatever the freak it is. Corner of the mouth. Okay, well, let's see. He's got to be able to open his mouth without these things getting in the way. So let's see. Should we point them up, point them down, point them out? Okay, well, we got something. Let's have a look. Now it's funny. Now he's looking more like a goat. Okay. All right, well, we'll fix some of this. All right, let's see. Is this down more? Let's see. Let's figure this out. We're just rough sketching in here. All right, so maybe this, well, you know what? I don't want to be lazy. This is not me trying to be lazy about it. I'll do it. But what if this particular guy, to kind of start creating and working on his backstory already, what if this particular character only has the one tusk? I feel like it's not anchored deep enough. Hang on. We need some. Give him a panda patch eyes. I had planned on doing panda coloring. It seems like such a random place to put a tusk, doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's too big. Maybe that's what it is. But what if this... Maybe it shouldn't be as big a tusk as I'm thinking. Maybe it just needs to be something simple. Okay. I think that works better for this poor little guy. A big guy. He's a big guy. I'm thinking this is a big creature. Like if a grizzly bear stood on its hind legs, this is the kind of creature we would be getting. Okay, and all right, so he's got a nice Battle damage. Yeah, let's just say he has the one tusk. And then let's figure out some eyes here. What kind of eyes do we need? Let me look at panda eyes and let me look at goat eyes. Goat eyes are, sometimes they're cute. Like, sometimes they're kind of like beady looking, like kind of creepy. They're very, very round. Panda bears kind of have small eyes for their size. They're cute though, so cute. Should he have big eyes or little eyes? Let's see. What is this creature? What? Oh, I'm digging it. What do we think, guys? Kind of gave him a little bit slanted kind of eyes. He's still in the production phase, so to me he's still looking very cartoony, but he doesn't have any highlights on him or shadowing, so bear with him. No pun intended. But oh, okay, I kind of like this. This wasn't intentional, but I kind of like this tuft of fur here, and maybe another one. So he's got like this beard with this hair kind of coming down. That looks really generic, but that's okay. I'm not very good with hair, so we're just kind of sketching things out. The Dragon Warrior is among us. Dragon Warrior. He is going in a totally different route than what I originally pictured, but I'm okay with that. You just never know. There's no wrong way to do creatures like this, because then they're always original. And okay. And maybe I feel like he needs something up top though, right? Like, is he just maybe he needs, I don't want him to be a lion, but maybe we'll give him a mohawk. Oh, here we go. I mean, some long hair up the top. Not that I intend. Like, now he's starting to look kind of like a cartoon, though. It's not like a real creature. I don't know how happy I am about that. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Get rid of it. Be gone. Okay, I've changed his head shape a little bit. I think that kind of helps a little bit. Okay, he still has this thing on the back, but I was planning, oops, wrong pencil. I was planning on putting some, see, because he doesn't have a lot of movement with his body. So I had thought about giving him these, like, but I think that is in the wrong direction too. So, okay. This is the hard part about creating these characters, is like, you just never know what's going to work, what's not going to work. There's a lot about it that I really am enjoying. But I wonder if I need to, I've got this little tail back here too. Things were going well until I started adding hair. I could kind of, now that I think about the Dragon Warrior kind of thing, I could kind of see him as some kind of warrior creature, but maybe I need to change up the shape of the head. Now he's just like this big old jelly bean. Oh, but these little tufts of hair are cool. Maybe he has like quills. Oh. quills. And like a porcupine? Are we gonna put a porcupine with our panda goat creature? And then his arms. Well, maybe something needs to be different about his arms. So I did switch his legs to be more of like hooves. So that way they weren't too much of a bear, right? What else could I change about this creature? To make him more interesting and not just a standing up bear with this. And again, I know a lot of it has to do with like shading and stuff. So he hears with his ears. Let's go ahead and make him fuzzy. You got any idea? More panda in the eyes, like more wisdom. What kind of names are we feeling? Let me start off with that. What kind of names are we feeling with this creature? You know me, with the characters that we've created, I think only one of them has like a fancy kind of fantasy name, and that was Feigl. Feigl. Everybody else kind of had these generic kind of names, which I love, by the way. I think it just adds a layer of humor to it. You know, Gus, Carl. And then you've got Tuerto. What kind of name would this guy have? Steve. Maybe he needs something a little more. Maybe he's older. Oh, let's make him like have longer tufts on the ends of his hair. Ears. Pandolf One Tusk. Ooh, what a great little, like, kind of like tribal name. Pandolf. Okay, that's his name. That could be maybe his name. Pandolf, huh? Galfy? So I must have missed it. Where did the Gandalf come from? You guys were saying that. What exactly caused you to think Gandalf? Let me sharpen this up real quickly. Oh, I've got to basically outline also his panda spots, so they would be. When you said Ganda. Oh, okay. Thank you. I totally missed that. Of course, I don't want to make them exactly like panda bear spots. That would be kind of boring. Okay. Gandalf, I got you. Now I gotta do something with his arm. Maybe I'm so not good with anatomy. My baby? How would you... Hang on, let me see here. Let me get a reference. More belly? I think he has pretty good belly. It's more of like he needs to be doing something with his arms, I think. Since his feet are just kind of standing there, he kind of looks like he needs to go to the bathroom really badly, but he's going to wait in line because he's been here for an hour. He's coming along, though. He's pretty cool. And again, this is supposed to be like a field guide, you know, journal. Like we're traveling and we stumble upon one of these creatures. What is he doing? What do we see him doing? Little Pandolf here at the moment, pending if we want to stick with Pandolf. Tai Chi movement, maybe sweeping the arms. Well, I am trying to create, like, not necessarily cartoon-like creatures in this particular fantasy world that we're making. Because, like, you'll notice, like, Gus and Carl and stuff like that, while they're fantasy creatures, they could still be somewhat believable. You know, somebody was saying that Gus maybe needed a top hat or a bow tie, which would have been so cute. I could totally see it. Or a monocle. I didn't really want to turn it into that kind of quirky level, which is not a bad idea. Please don't misunderstand. It's not a bad idea at all. It's just I was trying to stay away from that. But Tai Chi movement. Well, what would a beast like this be doing in our world? I mean, wildebeests, goats jump, right? They jump a lot. So I mean, Tai Chi could maybe fit into that. I mean, no, I know Tai Chi's slower, but as far as like, man, he's kind of cool looking now that we're putting some stuff here. Let's have a look here. But they doing something. There's the motion there, you know? Okay, so Tai Chi. Hey, Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch, how you doing? We are creating a, we haven't come up with the official species yet, but it is a panda goat creature with maybe a little bit of a, it's not a hedgehog, what am I thinking? Well, I mean, there's hedgehogs, or there's, what's the thing with these things on the back, these spine thingies? I can't think of what the porcupine. Maybe with a porcupine. What is it? Okay, so Tai Chi movement. What kind of creature does something similar to this besides like a horny toad? A porcupine. we'll just end up giving him like a flipper, just like totally throw it out. Okay, so we have one magical ability. Let me write that down so I don't forget too. Is that he can hear thoughts but what was it? Threatening thoughts. Can hear, let's see. Okay. I want to let this be my guide a little bit, because there are different kind of arms out there, stuff like that too. Oh no, my pencil broke. Let me dwell on that. Let's dwell on that, team. How are we doing? Let's see. Okay. That's better. What does this arm need to be doing? I'm trying to think of different... I mean, should it be like... I mean, he's supposed to be low-key, right? He's not supposed to be this fierce... Like, I kind of got like cow vibes, right? Like, as far as a personality trait. They just kind of... They're there. I mean, you could tick off a cow and make it mad, but like overall, cows are just there chewing the cud. They're just there. They just exist, you know, and go on their little merry way. He does kind of look like some kind of master of something, though. I will give you guys that for sure. Looks like he's been around the block a little bit. Oh, I forgot. He's missing a tusk. Missing a tusk. He feeds on bamboo. Okay. Maybe he's got maybe lower arms, right? Let's give him some lower arms, like some really awkward lower arms. Again, I'm not the best at anatomy. We're just practicing some stuff here. We're just going to kind of see. We're going to see what happens. One movement is parting the horse's mane, palm facing, one going the other way towards the body, slightly off center. Okay. We could kind of, we'll just do a rough sketch here. Maybe some bamboo. He's still, I think it might be his legs. Like, this is just, it's rather boring. I need to change his stance, I think. All right. That's just all part of the game. It's just how it all is. So he's standing that way. His belly's over here. Maybe. All right, hang on. Let's see. Let's just kind of get ourselves a new position to, so his belly would be kind of like, let's see. I can't, it's hard for me to kind of really see what I'm doing here. Let's see, he has, let's just see, we got his belly. He'd have to change his stance, right? We're just gonna kind of gloves. Okay, I don't think that's how legs go. But again, we're just kind of practicing here. Sometimes you just gotta draw it out, see what's wrong. Yeah, he's kind of got like this broken leg. Time to get the reference, but I like that we're moving the body a little bit. Let's angle it a little bit more. I need to look at more goat legs. That is a sentence I never thought I'd really ever say in my lifetime, to be honest with you. I don't really want to type in goat legs either because, like, God knows what that will bring up. Some horrific image of some kind. And they're all facing the same direction. I mean, I could shift them in my imagination, but it's really difficult sometimes. I guess we're just gonna have to go for it. Every goat is like standing the same. A conspiracy, I sense. Okay. So how are we doing this, sir? So if you're standing on that side, it goes back and forth. Is that what it's not what I did? Hey, Power 700, welcome. We are working on a goat porcupine panda mix here. Trying to get a better stance for the legs here. So it would go back. Just remember to delete my browser. Always delete the browser history. This is like the same issue I'm running into. It goes back and then curves in. And then his belly's really full. And so maybe I wasn't so far off. I don't know. We'll just see. There's something off. Oh, okay. Hang on. I think I figured something out here. Yes, precious. Hang on. I'm not going to totally figure it out, but I'm working on it. I figured something out. So we gotta go skinny. That's what we gotta go. Gotta go skinny. And then we go out. So like if it's 1 foot forward kind of thing. And then this won't really be here, but it will be shadowed in. Okay, hang on. I think we're getting something here. Thank you for sticking in there with me, guys. Please be sure to hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe. If you're just like hanging out, I try to go live every Thursday around 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And we just try to create these creatures, these monsters, these weirdos. Hey, Forgotten Man! At first I was going to say your goat is pregnant, but then I remembered it's part panda. Exactly, right. Exactly. This man goat panda thing is, he's not pregnant, nor will he ever be. No, this is gonna be a man. I tend to make so one day I tend to make all of my characters male. Why is that? Fight the patriarchy, am I right? Totally kidding. But one day we're gonna have to make Mrs. Carl so that Carl won't be lonely and have to have guts with him the rest of his life. But okay, so we got this leg, and thank you guys, like I said, for hanging out with me and just cheering me on. I'm very happy, much happier with this leg here now. Okay, so then what does the other leg? Is it just going to be the same thing? Oh, I do like, actually, if I use my reference from what I was going to draw, if I do this, it's like it's standing back. Although that's too short, but I kind of like that idea. I like this idea that it's towards. Let's make it a little longer. Towards the back. So let's see. It needs to be a little bit back. Like, okay, so, well, we'll get there. The basic sketches. These wonky legs. What am I doing? I don't know. Let's see. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? It's a little too supermodel, I think, for this kind of creature. Like... I am kind of curious, out of everybody in the chat, how many of you are creatives or artists of some fashion coming out to hang out with other artists? Just curious. Now, see, then the leg is too thick. It's got to come in at a sharp angle. Maybe this... No, something's off. Name can be Wonky Leg. That's his Indian name. Okay. I think we're just kind of pretend like that's... We're going to pretend like... Me! Excellent. We're just going to kind of pretend like that's the way it needs to be for right now. So we've got a little bit... you're drawing with me? Excellent! So we're just going to kind of pretend like that's the way it's supposed to look. And then now it's a little bit more interesting. So the legs are somewhat done. The arms... What am I going to do with you? You produce music. That's so cool. Nope, no talent here at all. I just like watching you create. Oh, excellent. Well, thank you very much. I try. I want to... I like our creature so far. Maybe he has no arms. Oh, could you imagine? I mean, obviously, if he was born that way, he would never know, but... Okay, so panda bears. Let's just have an idea. Maybe this will help us with where to put arms and what to do with them. But pandas, they have basically a big old stripe. Of course, again, we don't want it perfect. Give him a V-neck. Oh my gosh. Here we go. And I don't want it to go around his belly. So we've got... It's going to be a tank top. Cannoli Sasquatch! Zombie Bot Reviews! Hello! We are... I'm trying to create this panda porcupine goat creature, and it is is going. Now apparently I'm putting like a crop top or a tube top or something on this creature. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with his blessed little arms. Maybe they do just hang down. He's supposed to be just a low-key cow creature that doesn't give a farthing about whatever. Does tracing my hand and calling it a turkey count? Well, it depends. How much effort did you put into it? How pretty did you make it? It's coming along well. Thank you. We were struggling with these legs, and we're still struggling, but... All right, so what kind of hands is he going to have? Is he going to have paws like a panda? I don't want to make them hooves. I want to make them useful. We'll just make, like, tentacle arms. What do you think? Maybe we'll just make little bear hands. Or maybe they should be really big. Like, maybe oversized paws. I don't really know what panda bear paws look like, to be honest. I've never paid attention. Okay. And they've got long claw, 4 fingers only. Oh, only 4 fingers for this guy. And Panda would rock a crop top. Okay, so what if we gave him more like kind of, because pandas have really long claws, right? So what if we gave him like some fingerish looking. Only 4? Did we say only 4? And then a nice little thick claw. Okay, that's really bad looking, but again, we're just... What is going on with this hand? Stars and garters. I am not the best at anatomy, whether it's creatures, humans. That's why we're learning together. Hopefully these streams also inspire and encourage you to try something new. I tell you what, it's quite the humbling experience to go live on the internet and have dozens, if not sometimes hundreds of people look at your artwork who probably could do everything way better than you in much faster time. But you just gotta go out there and try. And again, that's why it's always so amazing to have such wonderful support. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sure he appreciates. You know what? I got a feeling that this guy, again, we need a name for this guy. Is he really going to be Pandolf? If we're going to name him Pandolf, we got to have... I think there needs to be something else added to it, so it's not so easily recognizable with Gandalf. Pandolfi. Something like that. Like Pandolfi, Pandolfine. Pandolfine? Well, you gotta be careful with that, right? Pandolfine. Oh, actually, maybe Pandolfine. I was thinking of like porcupine. Maybe that could be his species. What do you guys think? A Pandolfine. I'm gonna write that out. A Pandolfine. I'm gonna write PH. A Pandolfine. That wouldn't be his name. That would just be his species. What do we think of a Pandolfine? Pandolfine. I'm feeling it. Okay, I'm feeling it. You just gotta figure out this hand. Okay, so if it's kind of like, let's just pretend like it's humans. We're gonna do the basic structure, and then we add the fingers, that kind of curve. This goes a little bit longer. A Pandolfine. Okay, so he's a Pandolfine. But what is his name? Tell me, what is his name? Oh, that worked out really well. Okay. So if his species is a Pandolfine. And we can't name him Pandolf. So we have to think of something else. Good call, though, guys. We worked with that. Gandalf, Pandolfine. So maybe we can change up the way his spots are, too, so they're not totally panda-like. A name. What's a good name? What's a good standard American name? Bert. I don't want to name him Bert. It's too... I don't know, but it's funny. Greg? Greg. I can't laugh, guys. You're making me laugh and I can't breathe. Bob. Rob. Okay. I would make a name suggestion, but you guys are probably going to make fun of me and it's going to probably go into a dirty direction, but I don't want to do that. You know, I don't do that here on these streams. But if you would shorten Richard, how about I just say it like that? I think he could totally pass for a short Richard. Herbert? Oh my gosh. I mean, he doesn't have to be a standard American name, but... Moby. Exactly. It rhymes with sick. Exactly. I just don't want people's... Like, I legitimately would say it for the name, not for the innuendo. Fritz? He could be a Fritz. Hans and Fritz. Warner. Aaron. These are such good names. Oh, maybe I'll mix it up. Maybe I'll make it like his hands like a gauntlet, and this is where I'll put the darkness. Moby is kind of cool. It keeps it low key, am I right? Because I don't want him to be too suave. I don't want him to have too much personality, to be honest. Otto. Oh, there's Otto. Ooh, I like the idea that he has like really long hair here, but not necessarily all over his body. I'll need to whip out some of my old artwork. If Maria's still there, she knows what character I'm talking about. Nefaris. I've actually made a video, I believe it was, of oil painting of my own evil character. Harry, right, it's a little on the nose, isn't it? Ooh, I like this. Okay. See, look at that. You just never know what's actually going to work. I like Moby. What do you guys think? Moby the Pandolfine. Oh, actually sounds pretty good when you say it all together. What do you guys think? Moby sounds good. Okay. As it is written, so let it be done. Moby. We created a brand new character. Now, we have really done terrible, guys. This time around, we've done a horrible job creating his backstory. Look at all the notes that everybody else gets to have. And, well, Tuerto has more notes than that. I don't know where his notes are. But, I don't know where his notes went to. But Like, everybody else has like a full page, and all we have here for poor Moby is he can hear threatening thoughts and he's missing a tusk. You did name one. Good job. Round of applause for stunning and brave Megatron. So we need to at least fill half a page of Moby's story. Okay. So somebody was saying something about a mountain. I like the idea of him being a mountainous creature. I think that makes sense. Even though it might be on the nose with the whole goat thing, I think it makes sense because it just seems like he would be a mountain kind of person. You guys were also talking about Tai Chi and Kung Fu Panda and all that stuff. So I like the idea of the mountain being really high and almost impossible to get to. And nobody understands how these fat, large creatures can live up there, right? We like a little mystery with our creatures, like our quackalin, right? So what do we think about that? They live, and so, okay. And maybe living so high up is a choice because they don't want to hear all of the negative sounds or the negative, threatening thoughts. They try to be more of a peaceful, to themselves kind of creature, and they don't want to hear all the threatening thoughts that are down below. I think that works out pretty well. So that's right. Pandolfines live on extremely high mountains. They're kind of like an isolated creature, I guess. Let's see. To avoid having to hear the threatening thoughts of others. Okay, good. Excellent job. We're doing it, guys. Now, so here's just a mini rant. Look at the characters that we've created over the past couple of weeks, okay? And tell me that there's not enough creativity in the world that Hollywood couldn't take a note from some of us. Am I right? Like, for real. I mean, there are many of us, myself included, and I'm not saying this from like a high horse position, but there are many of us that have such extreme imaginations and have gifts and talents in so many different ways, whether you're like a VFX artist, you're a drawer or a painter like myself, graphic design, whatever the case might be, that Hollywood could use some help or can't find somebody. Like, what is the deal that Hollywood can't create new things? We're creating new things every Thursday evening, right? Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out. So I've also thought about this panda that maybe just wants horribly remake classics. Right? I was also thinking here, so instead of having these patches of not discolored, but darker fur, maybe I'll just give him longer hair. Just to kind of, change it up again. Again, I don't want to make everything too distinct, too exact. Excuse me for my sniffing here. Of a panda and a goat. I want to use them as references, right? So instead of so he's got this nice long beard that's kind of reminiscent of a goat, but at the same time it's nice and dark, so it's like a panda. go. I'm surprised, I'll be honest with you, that I was able to make it to an hour of streaming. I thought for sure my nose would give out on me. And if you have Twitch, be sure to follow me there. Don't follow me on Twitter, but you can follow me on Twitch and Instagram. And I've been playing some games on there. I've also been doing a series on Twitch. Try to go live every Monday morning for some Dragons and Devotions. We create new dragons, new characters over there, and we talk about some wholesome things as well. But I also do some Fortnite streams, some Mario Kart. We just have ourselves, in the words of the Flintstone songs, we just have a gay old time, man. We do. We just have a happy time. Don't let anybody tell you that word's weird. We just have a good time, man. Creativity has no time frame. Amen to that. Okay. All right. Is he kind of looking like a weird panda goat creature? These are the questions we need to know. I would say so. I want it there to be a little bit of confusion and familiarity at the same time with this creature. So that way your brain's kind of like, well, it looks like this, but it kind of also looks like this. And he's just kind of hanging there. All right, his belly is kind of, like, he is just kind of bare, isn't he? Like, I would suppose that on his back he would have kind of those little spine porcupine things. I don't know why my southern drawl really intensifies when I say the word porcupine. I can't remember how to say it in standard American anymore. Porcupine. That's kind of difficult to say. I've lived in the South for a really long time now, and I've just kind of adopted their way of life. Well, it's speaking porcupine. It just kind of gets worse when you have a cold too, that nasal porcupine. I've been listening to Arwen Avalon too much. That Georgia Southern Belle gal. Alright, let's make these some dark hooves. Hooves? I'm trying to make them shiny. What's the unique... What's the unique language that is spoken? You mean for Moby and his people? Or are you talking about this world that we're creating? Like in general. I'm sorry, you said yes, and I don't know to which question that's referring. For Moby? Are you asking what kind of language Moby speaks? I haven't really gotten to like dialects and things like that for these creatures for Moby. I don't know. I haven't really gotten into that because I guess I just haven't seen at the moment, just haven't quite seen the relevancy of needing to know that. Only because I'm not good with animal noises. I haven't really fully decided if this is a world where everybody just kind of speaks English, but are you talking about like the language as far as like what Megatron is saying, like Pandanese, like Pandolfinese, Pandolfine? No, maybe I should make... No, that I don't want to make him look like a cow. I was thinking about making his feet kind of spotted too, but... Nah, let's not do that. It would be confusing, though. Pandanese. I wonder if his species, like, they don't talk to each other, right? Because I have a feeling that eventually we're going to somehow get these creatures to come together. It's going to be the next Homeward Bound or something like that. The Incredible Journey. So I think it would be... Okay. Oh, here we go. The brain is starting to roll. I think it would be really cool if Moby here, he's missing his tusk. His people, they don't really come down from the mountain and they don't really talk to each other, right? It's not that they can't talk. There's just no point. There's no need to talk. They just don't communicate. Like I said, very low key people. And even when the mating season comes, there might be like only a few sounds or whatever their language is that they make in order to attract the male and the female. Like that's it. Or maybe that's it. The only time that they speak is when they try to find a mate, right? And so Moby here, maybe there was some kind of war, right? And Moby was one of the few that could, maybe he has a stronger sense with his ears here of the threat was down below. And his people decided to ignore it and climb higher up the mountain to get away from the frequencies or whatever, right? And then, but Moby couldn't get away from it. He was like, I need to know what this is and whatever. So he travels down the mountain and sees everything that's happening and that there's a war coming. And he doesn't understand it, but he can hear the threats, the violence, the rage in the atmosphere, right? And he doesn't understand necessarily war, but he just knows that he wants and needs the threats to stop. He might not necessarily understand that everybody around him can't hear it. And so that's how he loses his tusk. He ends up learning to speak to other people, and he signs up for the war or does whatever he can to try to stop the threatening sounds. And so this kind of goes with your like master kung fu thing too. And also, the soulful eyes is that after the war, he returns to his mountain and to his people. They don't want to know why he left. They don't care because they don't talk to each other. And he's not going to tell them because he doesn't want them to know what the suffering of war is like. And so he doesn't talk about it. Have you ever met like a veteran? I know I have, a veteran from World War II or something like that. And you might ask them a question about the war and they don't want to talk about it because they don't want you to have to experience or hear about the horrible sufferings that happen between other human beings. And so maybe that could be Moby's story. What do you guys think? Every creature line should have their own language, but then there's the common, you're right, that everybody can speak. Figured it would be fun in developing this fantasy world. I hope it's fun. I hope you guys enjoy being along for this ride. What do you think of Moby's stories that I was kind of developing here? Maybe he could be a spiritual character. It's possible. Maybe like his species, they're all kind of spiritual, if you will. But, and I feel like there's a lesson here for all of us. But they're neglecting their gift. Like they're able to hear the threats, and they would be the people that would immediately know, I say the people, but they would be the group that would know how to deal with the issue and absolve it quicker than other people because they can hear the thoughts and the intents of people. But because it's so overwhelming, they choose to hide away from it and not do anything about it. And so that's why this stuff happens. I like the war story. Sounds similar to monks. Pendle finds can sense you from miles away, and they often are not surprised when you meet them. They are maybe also telepathic, saying, I've been waiting for you. I do like part of that there, Achilles Jones. I do. Yeah, they're often not. Yeah, exactly. They're not surprised. They're low-key creatures. Nothing really bothers them, right? Nothing really bothers them. Like I said, they are the cows of the world we're creating. I can't wait to create the actual world. Like we're going to name the lands, we're going to make the maps, we're going to name the world that they live in. I'm stoked about it. Gotta go. Power 700, thank you for stopping by. Hope you have enjoyed the stream and creating this really interesting character. I had no idea where this story was going to go, and I'm so glad that we've done this. This is such a neat idea. Okay, I'll have to remember all those details. have to remember all those details and write it down. Do we kind of like that idea? I think it's pretty in depth. It's pretty heavy. Um, that Moby here is older. Tabitha, you are going to be the new Tolkien or Lucas. You know what? That's the dream. I'm not going to lie to you, Achilles Jones. I have many books planned that have actually already been in the works that I've been collecting ideas. And all right, so if you guys want to know, you guys are the chosen few. If you guys really want to know what my ultimate dream in life is, here it is. I'm going to spill it for the internet to know, for everybody in the world to hear if they so chose to listen or watch this stream. Is that it's my plan, my goal, my dream would be to write my own books and to illustrate them as well. That's partially why I do all of this, is that it's practice. All of my artwork, really, my oil paintings whenever I do people and all of these creatures, they're all practice for when I create my more serious pieces, which honestly, this could eventually turn into a very serious piece. And the fact that, again, you guys are along for the journey, like, I'm not going to forget that, when I make millions of dollars using my brain. But yeah, this is all practice. I love storytelling. I love writing. I love world building. I love creating religions and traditions. I love creating stereotypes and creating, this is going to sound weird, but I even love creating like derogatory terms and slurs in these fake worlds, because stuff like that makes it real and makes it more creative. It's kind of like, oh, I don't have my other dragon picture with me, is what's his name? Fernando. And if you know his backstory, if you follow me on Twitch, you'll know that we already have a slur for the poor guy because of bad things that happened for him. My other people were there and watching and helping me create. And not that I, want slurs and bad things, but you know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is real. It's just, I love taking what makes fake into realism. Always, for me, honestly, it always in like a wholesome way. Like, I don't really like books and stories that have too much of the real world in it. Like, I remember reading a book and it had it had awful murder scenes and rape and things like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I like just enough realism that it's believable, but I don't like having those horrible things in stories, because we're trying to escape all that stuff, right? I don't want that in my book. It's horrible. It's deplorable. And so that's also my goal too, is to be able to write novels that are kind of like the opposite of what Hollywood's doing these days, or for the last several decades, that you don't need sex, love, and rock and roll, sex, drugs, and rock and roll to make an interesting story. I understand that some people like that, and there y'all go. I'm not, and I know there's a group of people that, like myself, that you don't have to rely on the lusts of the flesh in order for it to be a good story. Where are all the good stories? I want to make them. And there are going to be, of course, some harsh realities of life in there, but I don't like having too many travesties in my stories. You feel special? I hope you feel special, Strumming. That's kind of your dream as well. You want to make your own comic book? Go for it. I'm sure this will be fantastic. It's spooky, Atomic Ranger 76 says. But this creature, yeah, he is. Graphic novel would be good. Yeah, call him Huckleberry Hornjaw. Ha! That's a pretty cool name, too. But we have named him Moby. He is a Pandolphine. Pandolphine? Oh, did we determine if it was a fine or a fiend? A Pandolphine. That's what it was, a Pandolphine. Okay, so he lives up on the mountain. What do we say? I'm gonna be having to wrap things up here, but let me get. I'm something's wrong with the belly. I'm not sure if maybe he needs a longer beard. Maybe that's like a sign of age. It's a lot of white exposed right here, so maybe that's kind of. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. Now he is Gandalf, right? Lost internet. Yeah, that happens. He's not a fiend. He's low key, easygoing, passive kind of dude. Okay, so he left the mountain because the war was sending too many threatening thoughts. Let's see. He's voiced by Sean Connery. Ooh. Let's see. Because of the threatening thoughts, his people moved higher up the mountain. I need Maria to like narrate these stories as I go. That's what I should do. Because she's a storyteller. Geeky Crochet or Unlocking Lore, however you know her. But Moby wanted to put a stop to the threatening thing. He left the mountain and volunteered in the war. Let's see, once the war was over, he returned to his mountain. And never spoke of what he had done. An unsung hero. Did I put that part about not speaking? Threatening thought? No. No. Look at that. We're filling up the page, guys. Thank you. Maybe the top of the mountain where he lives is filled with cherry blossoms and bamboo trees. That's a very pleasant thought, isn't it? Maybe just the whole mountain. Maybe it's like a pink, right? Maybe they're the pink mountains, right? Because the whole mountain is covered in cherry blossom trees. They basically want to live in this kind of, if you will, utopian world where there's no aggression, everybody just leaves each other alone. And so they've got all this beauty around them, and that's why they just aren't really aware of what's going on down below. There we go. Here we go. All right. I mean, that's just a basic gist. Maybe one day I'll create paintings of all these characters, but Just kind of, I don't want to. Let me just kind of darken some stuff up here. Darken some. He's kind of cool, I think. I mean, I'm going to make some of these tufts a little longer. Okay. I wish we could see his other arm, but he's just, I just imagine these creatures just walking with their arms really slumped and just doing whatever it is that they do up on those mountains, sniffing. Maybe they eat the cherry blossom trees, or maybe they nurture them or something. I don't know. If I was going to name him Huckleberry Hornjaw, I would have to put some kind of cowboy hat on him for sure. Hey, Anonymous! I'm doing great. We are finishing up this stream. We have created Meet Moby. Oh, it's blurry. Hang on. There it is. Meet Moby the Pandolphin. Pandolphin. I keep saying it wrong. The Pandol. I'm going to like the Pandolphin. Pandolphin. The Pandolphin. Moby. The Pandolphin. And fun little creature with a whole big backstory. You'll have to watch the rerun to get everything else. We just go back a couple of minutes and talked about it. But we've got a cool creature going on here. And yeah, if I ever figure out a little bit more about this character, I might add the other arm out doing something here. I was thinking about, somebody had mentioned him eating bamboo, but I wanted maybe something else. So if I ever think about that and consider what it could be, we'll add that over here. But that would, let me just go ahead and just sign it because I can with the date. That would be the conclusion of our story for Moby here for right now. I can't wait to add more to this in the future when we start figuring out where he and his people reside in the Pink Mountains. Holding a staff. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I mean, that would kind of make sense. Maybe he has a war injury. Maybe that's why his legs look wonky. Chess pieces. That would be cool. Yeah, maybe he needs to be holding a staff. I'll have to think. That's a good one. Thank you, Mother. Holding a staff. See, moms are good. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Your support of watching and participating in the chat and hitting the like button mean the world to me. I appreciate everybody hanging out here. A bamboo staff. Cherry is a hardwood. Maybe we'll mix it. Maybe it's like a mix of something. We'll figure it out. That's good ideas. But if you want to look for other ways to support the channel, of course you can in the description box down below. And be sure to follow me on Twitch for more creature designs and story ideas and some gaming fun as well. And yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your evening. Have a great weekend. It's Easter weekend. I don't know how many of you might be celebrating Easter, but just know that Easter is not just supposed to be celebrated this weekend. Christ rising is meant to be a celebration every day of the year if you know Jesus. And he lives inside, and because of what we celebrate this weekend, we can rejoice all year round. So it's okay if you don't celebrate. I think it's okay if you don't celebrate Easter this weekend, as long as you're celebrating it every other day. That's just my opinion, my 2 cents worth. We close the book on that. You guys have a fantastic rest of the evening. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much. And it has to be hard enough. The staff needs to be hard enough that creatures can't eat it. That makes sense. But enjoy your drawing, your weekend. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are really fantastic. Thank you so much.
If I was watching this video, I would like it. I would like the video, and I would probably subscribe because this is so thoroughly entertaining and also well executed. It's a